Hey, it's Jordan with the Young Turks, TYT Politics. We're here in the car in Flint, Michigan. I'm here with the mayor of Flint, Tony Palladino,
Yeah,
or
right.
possibly one day
Yeah,
the mayor.
whatever, man.
And I wanted to show you what we saw driving here because it's really jarring and kind of depressing. This is Tony's neighborhood. This is the east side of Flint.
Yeah, east side of Flint. This is the street that I own a few houses on. Let's discuss the land bank real quick and how they come in and supposedly helped. This house to our right's been sitting empty now for almost, I'd want to say 8 to 10 years. We've chased everything out of it. The house to the other side is the one that me and my wife have redone.
Which one is that?
This one right here. But this one to the left that says poison is the one that the city destroyed on me. We paid a water shut off on it, $50, and we come back, the pipes had blown, and it was in April. They weren't frozen. They were rotted from the rough water, I guess. And they tried to claim government immunity on us. That's a long story there, but the only difference between these two houses and that is the land bank owns that one. It's run like shit. This right here is where we started our first gardens. I took this over from the land bank and told them we was going to use it for a neighborhood garden. They ended up selling it for $50 after we'd put all the work into it. Thank God the guy that has it or owns it, him and his wife are great people. They grew up in the neighborhood and they've maintained it. I planted that tree there back there about 2003 when my sister passed. Let's go ahead and make a left here. This is Walnut in Washington. This is where we grew up. This house on the left was donated to the church, El Shaddai.
Right here?
Yep.
And in a lot of places, you see the lawn is just not been taken care of.
Well, let's not forget that's a land bank lot. It should have been taken care of through the Clean and Green program that I designed. However, they're pretty select with what they do. Now, this corner house right here, Nancy and Bill lived there. They took care of everything. He ended up passing. She moved. We'll make a left right here real quick.
All right, this house?
Yeah.
So that's like a lot of houses. They're just abandoned. Correct?
Yeah, people moved out of there because the guy next door was shooting a gun, come to find out, and just being an idiot. And see how they've taken this. This was George Stocco. Let's stop right here. This guy took care of our bikes growing up.
All these houses are abandoned.
Yeah, these are abandoned. Right now, Helen Chasik, who we raised the flag up for, this is where she grew up. Or this is where she lived. One of the greatest leaders in the neighborhood.
And just so the audience knows, they're abandoned because they got evicted?
They got evicted, fell behind in a water payment or some kind of foreclosure.
So all this empty land here?
Right. Land bank lots that they'll select mow. Same thing here. All these people, all this that I grew up around, these people I knew. Some have died, some have left. This used to be a house I owned at one time. I got rid of it a long time ago. The guy living there now used to help me with the Clean and Green program. His name's Mike. Great guy. He'd still do just about anything to help things out. This right here, just within the last 6 years, this has fallen apart.
And you see CP on a lot of these homes.
That's cut and plug. That means they come in and cut the plug line and plug the lines and all that. So they're ready to tear down. These were the two. We had these 3 fires and one on the other street not too long ago. This lady here comes from Monroe. Great woman. I've known her for a good 15 years. Frustrated because they say they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they leave it go.
And I mean, I think this house is a real perfect example of what we're seeing all over the place.
That right there, a friend of mine bought that.
When did this burn down?
They burned all this down. These 3 houses, and there's one up here on Roosevelt, probably about a month and a half ago.
And is this arson? Gangs?
Well, I know it's arson, but I won't mention land bank. I won't mention names. This right here was one of my lots through the land bank. Stop real quick. It was beautiful. We had horseshoe pits in there. We had a gazebo in there. I still have pictures. The little orange pole here, we had flowers on it. So as we're going along, this is the street that I grew up on. This is Roosevelt. This burnout was Popeyes. There was another house here. If we can stop. You see this big pine tree right here? Move a little forward. I planted that pine tree in 5th grade. My house was 2 over from this.
And you see abandoned cat too.
That house, yeah, we can make her right here. This is the dead end to where Camp Promise is down there, but if you think about it, we lived in this isolated little area, and we took care of each other.
And not to blow up your spot, but you grew up 70s around here?
Yeah, 72.
Now, he was a grown man.
And I'm assuming the houses were middle-class suburban households.
Right. Gil Bones, retired from the Army. All these were military elders that took pride. Grapes and cherries and peaches and Mrs. Dennis, she's like, Palladino, get your ass home, get out of my pear tree. You know, this is where we grew up, and it hurts. It hurts because, yeah, Leah says you're just living in the past. Well, it wasn't so bad. I didn't think, you know, seeing this, you get all this stuff where people move in. I don't know what it is, you know. Although when we did our cleanups, some people were like, oh, get out of here, until they realized, dude, we're not here to judge you. If you need our help, let us help you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, we'll move a little straight up. This is Nick. He's one of the good guys from the neighborhood. Worked for the city schools and helped out a lot.
Very expressive.
What's up, Tweedle?
And again, just...
This was the other house that burned right here. This was where the Coleman's old friend. You see, now the church owns this, or they did, or they went back to once they owned it, they let it go back to the land bank. This was the original church of El Shaddai that took over the land bank jobs up in here. Through Jackie Popper, who I had a thing, they blocked this.
Let me ask you: is this open space? Is this where a house used to be, or is that just?
Yes, it was a house at one time. Most of these empty lots were houses.
Right.
In fact, all of them were. I mean, there were a couple.
Because you usually don't see in suburban areas this much open space.
Right. All right, we can make a left right here.
And again...
No, hold on. They blocked this road through their church. And we fought it. And the likes of Jackie Popper and all them, no offense, said because it's a religious group or whatever, we believe in everything they're doing.
But again, why this is important and why I title this structure to the middle class, they got plenty of money to give tax cuts to corporations, to give tax cuts to wealthy people, to give subsidies to oil companies and pharmaceutical companies and all this. While this all happens not only in Flint, but in Detroit, in Milwaukee, in Cleveland, many formerly suburban middle-class neighborhoods.
Well, you could say there's a thing called a tax freeze now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are taking, we'll make a left here, that are taking advantage of, well, not taking it, they're part of downtown Flint. They freeze their taxes till they build their stuff up, and they say we're creating jobs, and for what, 12 people? You know, it's a bamboozlement. That's my phone.
Definitely in the country. I'm like, I thought a TV show was about to come on.
Hello.
I'm like, what is that doing?
More
I'm on Poplar Street right now in front of Gary's house.
More
We're
empty
doing
lots.
This little run with these guys. Where are you at?
More empty lots.
All right, probably about 10 more minutes, and
But
we're
it
gonna go get
sounds
something
like
to
this
eat.
was
All right.
once a really bustling area.
Yes.
All right. I'll be there in about 10, 15 minutes, no later. All right. There's a water line. All right. Bye.
But can you give me more of a picture, like about 20, 30 years ago, this was a bustling, highly populated...
Well, this was actually a shop neighborhood. You got Buick and DuPont and all them. You could walk to work from here. You could walk to the library, the college, the schools, the stores. There was a little store on that street there. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe you don't know what I'm saying, but it was booming, and you helped people. You know, Mrs.
Look at this lawn right here, Ty.
Right. Now see this lot right here, where all this shit is right here. We had it at one time. It was cleaned up, and I was gonna make it another garden area, but I backed out. It started getting too hairy. See, we never had a place to meet as a neighborhood. We met here when it was called A&S, but then we took over the pavilion in Donley Pavilion because they was gonna build it up, and here comes the likes of the Mott Foundation, the Ruth Mott organization, which we were part of, and took over everything. This ball diamond and all that. I mean, look at this.
Which, by the way, you can't really see it, but the roads here are atrocious too.
Shit.
You got to drive fairly.
Now watch, this
Slowly.
lot right here was dedicated. The land bank had it for sale. Guess who swept it up at auction? So they say. Mott College. This side of the street is commercial, but where it's green, that is Mott's estate right there. From this green belt over, Genevieve Donnelly sat with Ruth Mott, and they agreed that they would pass some kind of thing where you can't build there. They wanted to bring a gas station or grocery store, and they said no, it's a green area.
And you got the
There's my mother-in-law's house, but right next to it, now you're on the edge of the park. This has been like this for almost 3 years. You go out back of that, it's filled with trash and everything. So the Clean and Green program, when I was running it, would go in and push all that stuff back in the house because it come out of it. Although they complained at first, they realized, wow, at least this keeps it from being spread around.
And here is a park that used to be very vibrant that I've done some reporting from, and you've said they basically have let it go to shit.
Well, I'm not saying they let it go to shit. They let it go to shit for a reason. See that ball diamond? That's where we all grew up. You could walk there any day and play ball. But with them coming in and through the emergency manager, they say, it went to Mott College because they want to improve the area for the residents. I call bullshit on that. First and foremost, they made it a woman's underhand softball. You can't get on there to
And
play regular
by the
ball.
way, on the left, you see Camp Promise, which I've reported from. It's the water protectors camp that's developed here over the last month or two.
So anyways, they more or less privatized this for the college for the simple fact that they can offer that sports program. Nothing more, nothing less. Is it a bad thing? Not totally, but can I walk on there like we used to and look at that? It looks almost like a mini prison. Let's talk about the military base that used to be here. Go that way, please.
Right?
No, left. This right here was sold to Mott for $1. Back taxes or whatever. They turned this into their maintenance building. Okay, on that wall it says Mott Community College. If it was such a community college, don't you think they would have opened a room up for us to have neighborhood meetings? That's what we took that over for. They turned it into a play area where they do Shakespeare in the park. We couldn't even get in there. It's named after Genevieve Donnelly, who was one of our neighborhood organizers. And she took care of us and we didn't realize it. What you're seeing is just a little bit. This part of the neighborhoods is not too bad as you go up around the park, although it's worse than what it used to be.
Yeah, but it's really, like you see, a lot better kept homes that are still occupied, but still.
Well, you have the ones in between.
Yep.
Look at that house. Anywhere else would be worth $75,000, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We had the schools up here. We had the funeral homes. We've had the churches, which there's more churches in the city of Flint than there are bathrooms. Let's be honest.
Where are the temples, goddammit? But more.
See, now these are mostly land. These are all land bank houses now. Mr. Kildy, if you're hearing this, you know and I know, you've gotten funded. You've caused a blight fund, $30 million that we know of. And yet you can drive anywhere in any neighborhood. This isn't just the east side. And look at this. What gets me is when we started the Clean and Green program, it was in the ideal of putting the people in this little neighborhood to work on these lots. All of a sudden the churches and the 501(c)(3) suck them up. And yes, the people in the neighborhood are working, but they're not making as much as they could because the church is sucking that money up. This is a lie. This is a front. This is a blatant stealing. And let's not forget.
More open lots here.
Well, see, this used to be a house. I see somebody planting trees. This was one of the lots we used to take care of. The thing is, though, is the land bank as a whole is not doing what they said they were going to do, and that's put the properties back on the tax bracket. Why is it a streetlight assessment, this lot now, that you would buy from the land bank for $50, or maybe even $100 or $300, now costs you $97 in taxes a year? How the fuck? Why would you want that? So it's set up to fail right from the get. You see what I'm saying? There's
So,
Mike.
Why are they setting it up to fail?
Because it's a land grab. Understand what I'm saying? It is a land grab. They're using the church. and I say basically the churches, the 501c3s, to say, look at the blight. Here's what will happen. Let's take the golf course over at Pierce or even Kersley Park. They'll let it get in disrepair. They'll let it fall behind. They'll say, oh, we're going to come in and mow it. Let us just take it over. See, that's what Mott's plan was. We didn't realize it. When we started the clean program, we got down there and started doing shit. I think it might have pissed them off because now someone's doing something. This is Homedale School. See that tree over there was planted. All of us at the school when we was younger got a tree to take home. That one right there, every elementary school in Flint had a tree planted in honor of Charles
So this
Mott.
giant empty land here
is where Homedale Elementary School, where we all came from. Well, I wonder what's going on up there. But anyways, that tree was left in honor of Mott himself, Charles. Because what most people don't realize
The
is
one in the middle?
no, that end one way over there. Yeah, that one.
Big one.
Right.
Yeah.
What they don't realize is Mott was big on education. Him and Manley, they had the game plan. They had it down. We're gonna go up here a little bit further up on Bell. I'll show you where.
Is there an entire block called Jane that
Yep,
burned
right
down?
here. That's where I'm taking you. Jane Bell. Now look at this. That church right there was built up. It used to be Emmanuel Baptist. How can you sit in that church and look at all this shit and tell me you're helping the people? Because most of them don't even live here. The churches in my neighborhood, there's a couple people from the church that live there. Look at this. Now, granted, you walk 3 blocks that way, you cross the river, you're at Buick, you're at DuPont. You know what I'm saying? All these factories. This is Dan Kilde's neighborhood. New York is where he grew up on.
You got some neighborhoods in Baghdad that look better than this.
I'm telling you guys, this is disgusting and it's haunting and it hurts. It hurts. Look at, in the middle of that, probably one of Mott's trees that some kid went to Homedale, got these pine trees. They're still here. You know, they represented the education and the pride we took in. And you know, I remember back in the day, if there was a fire in the neighborhood, oh my God, well, you hear about a fire now, it's like, well, another fire. Well, someone got shot, you know. Little Johnny got beat up. Oh, yeah, everybody got beat up, but I'm just saying, what do you get out of this? You know, and then I got people that come back from out of state and they're like, man, Tony, I can't see you. No, dude, you left, you moved. We have nothing to offer you.
And Congressman Dan Kildee represents this area.
Well, he represents the whole city as far as I'm concerned. Better yet, the state. You know?
Right.
Yeah, maybe make a left. Maybe make a left.
And is this the pipes?
No, it looks like they're doing some work on the power lines. Probably cutting trees. This is a friend of mine I grew up with, Joe. Now watch this. You see this little cross to the left in that? That's a land bank property. All he wants is them to hand the property over. You know what I'm saying? And why won't they? Look at that. He ain't hurting nothing. He has ministry here, you know? Open prayer. Although it may not seem like much to some people, but it's what he's doing amongst this.
And also, how is the land bank going to get these things back on the market looking like this?
Well, let's look at this. For sale by owner. Make an offer. Understand what I'm saying? He probably bought that at a land bank auction for $100 and probably take $5 for it. And in the middle of it, you got some guy mows this out for what? For his own stuff? I don't know.
But who's going to buy up these properties?
Nobody. Here's where we're at. It's not the property, guys. It's not the houses. I mean, it's the properties. And here's what is their hidden agenda here? Why do they want this all flat and green? Why is it that they're worried about raw water from the KWA? Oh, yeah, we'll turn right. We'll turn right here. Why is it they want raw water? What are they doing? See, a lot of that property over there is toxic, contaminated. Well, not so much these. I mean, all they had on was bad houses. There wasn't no DuPont grease on it. Here's Jane right here. You can make a right. Now look at this. At one time, this was vibrant. As I grew up as a kid, you had the Marinos, the Muñozes, the Paladinos, the Smiths, the Johnson, and everybody looked out for each other.
Look at this right here.
I'm going to tell you guys a secret that everybody really don't realize. What do you see right there with that dead tree? That's money.
Yeah.
I don't care where you go in the United States. People burn wood. People use wood. Stanley had the plan to take all the trees out of the park. Why? Because that's money. You ain't going to find them trees no more. People use wood.
And what's this right here?
This looks like an organization that took over that lot. This is what the Clean and Green program was about. All right? I'm sure they're getting some kind of funding, or if not, well, they got to be getting something. I'm not too sure. But look, man, isn't that nice? And they're feeding the people around here. We'll go a little further up. Here's where you're talking about this whole block was gone. When we started the Clean and Green program, there was 7, 8 houses in here.
Jesus.
And we ain't even taking you down by the river yet.
So let me ask you, did a lot of this start, this kind of just total destruction of homes and land, with GM and other factories leaving?
Yeah, for the most part. Why did GM and all them get to skate out of here anyways? Do you think they know they was going to get nailed with some contamination laws? Or
Well, a lot of these factories started closing and downsizing because they found cheap labor overseas.
Well, not only that, let's thank the people that are in charge of that. It was the NAFTA, the Clintons,
Yep.
And another thing, there was a surge from the South back in the day because you're getting a job, you know, working for the factory. Come on, uneducated, you're making $20 an hour, you know, and they brought their music, they brought their soul.
But this is what, you could talk about the land bank, but this is what
GM
trade does.
Right.
It destroys.
Right, but why should it, and why does it look like this? Because they didn't reinvest.
Right.
Why isn't GM held responsible for keeping, all right, so you moved on to electric cars, you know? Why is it that they're still not vulnerable?
Why?
Yeah.
Because in America, the politicians, because they're bought off, put profit over people.
Right.
Did you see that? That whole fence was full of plastic bottles.
Yeah, that's how
the
they do it.
entire fence.
Yeah, they make
it's like
messages.
1,000 plastic bottles.
They make messages in that now, like congratulations or.
I mean, you could have a Blair Witch movie out here. That's what it looks like.
Blair Witch is fake. This is fucking real. You
Well
understand?
said. Well said.
Blair Witch was fake. I got one of them up north, guys.
Right?
Let's make a right here. We're going on to Franklin now. My grandfather used to walk this street with a little beanie on his head, his Italian sandals, and I'd run up to him laughing and, hey, Papa Joe, how you doing? Ah, the son of my bitches. Waldorf works for the city, probably one of the better companies that are doing this job. I'm telling you, they know their shit.
See a lot of construction going on. But you don't see a lot of commercial storefronts here.
This used to be booming back in the day. Paint store.
You don't see a lot of traffic either.
Well, let's remember now, AC was up here to the left. You know, these were the banks. Look at them. You're right, this isn't even Little Beirut. This is this side of Little Beirut. That used to be a Kroger store. It used to be Hammond's, and we fought to make sure they brought somebody else in. I don't know. Angela's, one of the most famous restaurants in Flint. Just don't seem to be what it used to be. Our group come in and painted this back in the day. It was awesome.
More empty land.
Beauty.
Empty land, empty land. Boarded up homes.
Burned out.
Boarded up and burnt out.
What's the date on that? June 29, 2016. There's something to take you back to 2011. My grandparents lived in that house a long time ago.
Which one? The one that's burnt?
No, this one right here. This corner house right here used to be a store. Let's just cross over into the elite neighborhood just a little bit. I'll give you a little run around in there. See, these were land bank lots that we would come in and clean and green up, but there got so many of them. See? Why do you think that's so nice? Look at that's beautiful. He took over that land and made it his, and that's what I was thinking. The land bank or the cleaning.
That's land bank.
It was at one time. Should be. Come in and take your own property. Why are you taxing me for it? Now this right here was Hetty's Party Store, a little store here. This is where you come get your cold beer and hang out. Turned into a drug joint, man. It got nasty and just ripped it all apart. But we'd walk up here on our bikes and ride up on our bikes and hang out. Now, the most powerful neighborhood in the city of Flint, whether people want to believe it or not, we're getting ready to come into right here. We're on the corner of Franklin and Robert T. There's Mott College, all that over that way, but we're going to come out around behind it.
Doesn't the mayor live over here?
Yes. The mayor lives over. Jim Ananek lives over. Walling lives over here. Other people that the Mott. Well, not so much a family, but people that work at Mott College. This used to be the doctor's places. The St. Joe's Hospital, St. Joseph Hospital was right over here where
So there's
Mott
no
College is.
burnt up houses over here.
Well, I'm not saying that. Like this house, for instance. All right? You would never, ever see that in this neighborhood growing up. They would have been chastised and booted out. I'm wondering what's wrong with that house. Oh, I do. I get it. It's the land banks. So what I want you guys to know is when you drive into my neighborhood, you may see Little Beirut, but I see where Mrs. Tardy lived. I still hold on to that feeling of, damn, where's Mr. Johnson? Or what would he do? What would Gil do? You know what I'm saying? Why are we like this?
And now you see some fairly nice houses.
Oh, it's going to get nicer. This is where I came to shovel sidewalks and make money in my poor little neighborhood.
And by the way, I've seen this in Detroit. I've seen this in Indiana. Literally within 4 or 5 blocks, you could go from
grant money, $65,000 a year, $156,000 first year. Said she spent over $2 million in the park. I am calling bullshit on that. Take a look at my park, our park. There is no $3 million. There ain't even a bathroom in there to piss. You got all them toys and nowhere to piss. No grills, no picnic table, nothing. We're going to just go straight a little bit here and then I'll try and pull you around.
Which house is the car?
Good, you got green light. Now we're crossing Court Street. It's going to get a little nicer in here.
Very nice home.
In fact, I haven't really been here much. I have no reason.
Stark contrast.
Matt Schlinkler right there, one of the best guys that's ever worked or lived in the city, him and his family. He was the 7th Ward Councilman with Johnny Taylor. That did some shit. They got in dumpsters and got dirty. They helped us out.
pretty nice houses over here.
That's where my aunt lived. Or my mother. I never hardly spoke. But we'll go up to the next stop sign and make a right. I'm hoping to get out around a couple of mansions here.
But even in this neighborhood, you see, like there. Look at this.
Yeah, that was looks like the storm did that one. Yeah, we'll make a right here. Now we're down on Brookside. Pierce Golf Course is to the left.
You said it right.
Yeah, right here. The one thing this neighborhood's got that most neighbors don't have is 3 different security police in there. You got Mott, U of M, and the city of Flint. We'll go that way.
You guys can keep talking.
This is Brookside. This is where some of the more well-to-do. You'll see some of these houses will go straight.
Pretty nice over there.
Oh, this is gonna swing us around. Yeah. Oh, let me take a look. I'm trying to
Yeah.
find. Yeah,
It's
make
pretty
her-
clear over
make
here.
her right here.
Nice little puppy over there. Nice bricks.
Well,
Whatever
it's
that
just
is.
it should be the way everybody lives that work their asses off. You know what I'm saying?
Got a nice brick home. Nice landscape over
See,
there.
a working man and his family, they want nothing but the better stuff for their kids. I'm trying to remember now where the Philpott family.
Got a guy with a boat in his.
Yeah, let's make a right here. Look at this house, butts up to the park. See the difference now as you're coming
Mhm.
around.
Nice, decent cars. That's a nice house. That's a nice house. Right here.
No, she lives out in Frankenmuth.
You guys do that like 8 times.
So, why do you think it is that between like 3 or 4 blocks you could have such a stark difference?
It's definitely money. We're going up right here.
Well, yeah.
But what it is definitely money. It's well educated, well to do, and they work. I'm not saying, I mean,
Yeah, no, good for them, but
right.
it's
Most of them we wouldn't even be able to walk through here today. You understand? The security would be on you. Come on.
I mean, look at this.
Right. Oh, look at this. You see how fast that happened, though? You see the difference? What's the name on that fence? Oh, Woodland Park Drive. Looks like the Philpotts.
Got a nice gated little house there.
Lawyers, doctors, and judges, and teachers, and cars.
How much would a house like this go for?
You want to call them and find out?
I'm just wondering.
Right here's the number.
Because what's amazing is how cheap the land is.
What's the difference between our land and these houses? They ain't tearing that down.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You ain't gonna come in here and torch that. This neighborhood,
might as well be a castle.
it is a castle. Do you know what? As a kid, I would ride by and think, man, I wonder how much that front door costs. Look at you don't see that. It's beautiful. Is it deserving? Sure it is. Is that open to everybody? No. Do they protect it? Sure, you can see it by all the things that are going on in our inner city politics. Don't tread on me or whatever. Maybe that's not the word I'm saying, but peasants beware.
Or as
And
Paul,
you know what? Just to be straight, there's some very good, beautiful people in here. There really is. There are some people that have hearts that are old school, but you'll also have some that'll grab you by the nose and rip you by the hair.
right?
This is Mott College right here. Some of the teachers were here. They lived here. Remember now, this is also Flint Central. That's where we went to school. That is now owned by someone within. They're talking about putting $72 million to redo it. I don't get it. We're gonna go right here and make a left. I'll take you the back way through this. Yeah, right here at this light, make a left. Seeing all the people that lived along here. The thing is, and you throw Kersley Park into it, we would mingle. We're gonna turn right here. No, you just missed it. And it's funny, it's Central.
Through here.
Yeah. All classes of people come together. Black, red, white, whatever. Rich, poor. And wow, looks like they closed the road.
Oh, this is the church we had our
Yeah,
town
that's
hall.
Woodside.
Oh, yeah.
And Deb is the one you need to get with because she don't give a shit. Come to church, don't come to church. Wear her shoes, don't. You know, I don't think we're gonna be able to get through here. This right here take you right to Kersley Park, right on my back door. And we're as kids, hey, go ahead, make a left. We're gonna just turn around and head back out. But as a kid, we ride up here on our bikes. We'd sneak into Ballinger Fieldhouse at night. Yeah, I'm sorry, my fault.
Guy with a camera back here. Almost fell through the goddamn window.
It's always about you. You need to be in the car to shoot.
Oh, you want me hanging out the roof?
Be quiet, man. I got straps on.
We gotta end soon because we're almost out of gas.
Yeah, we're almost there.
That's the real journalism.
The real poor reporters. Shady.
Actually, I do have a hot tub in my bathroom, so I can't be a hypocrite. I mean, in my hotel room. What am I talking about?
What are you trying to say, man?
I'm trying to get somebody to come up with it.
You know what I think about though? I think about the Paul Ryans of the world who call you the takers.
Yeah, go ahead and make it right here.
And the Clintons who like to say, the 90s were a terrific time.
Bullshit.
The roaring 90s, and everybody had a job and rising incomes. I mean, a lot of this shit was going on during the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going to go up to the light, make it right, take you by the library, and I'm on my way home.
What's the audience saying, Ty?
Some people saying that's middle class. No, them motherfuckers are
No,
rich.
that's upper class.
That was upper class, yeah.
This is the prison we went to high school, learned all our hard knocks. I wouldn't take anything away from that.
Look at all this open.
That's the park. That's Burroughs Park.
Okay.
You got the old folks home up here on the left. Kersley Street that I grew up on actually used to have some of the old mansions on there. My mother was on welfare. We're going to make her right here. We ended up with a 5-bedroom house, sliding doors. There you go.
What's it like inside some of these abandoned homes?
I'm telling you right now, man, it pisses me off. Well, here's Whittier Junior High. It pisses me off about the old homes because you got bird's eye. This school, for instance, Lowell School, beveled glass, all these shelving units, all these rocks, all this stuff has value to it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is closed too.
They're all closed. This is the high school I went to. Flint Central, we're surrounded by the library, Flint Public Library, Flint Music Center, the planetarium, the Whiting Auditorium, all this assets in the center of Flint, and they leave it closed? What's the hidden agenda there? They're talking about putting $72 million into that. Tearing it down and doing what? Oh, wow, we've already renovated most of this.
$72 million to do what?
To put a school in there, I guess. Let's turn right here, and then we'll head to the house. Now, mind you guys, you cross Robert T. Here's Kersley. The next street's Robert T. You're in my neighborhood. You were in most burned out little. Why? Remember this? Mm-hmm. This is behind this. They tore down all the old beautiful houses. Look at security already. And these people aren't from Flint. Some of them.
And this is the...
This is the cultural area. This is Sloan Museum with all the old cars, Flint's history. The Art Institute, the theater, Whiting Auditorium, the Bauer Theater. All your acts used to come right here. Theater classes. Now, here's Mr. Mott's estate right here on the right. This is the founding father of Flint as far as the automobile industry. We can go straight. We'll cut across. They tore the Sarver Center down. They're getting ready to tear these down. What's wrong with these buildings? Well, they said the roof leaks. The Buick Center. Here's Mott's Gate. I was his paper boy at one time. They opened it up so the public can go in there. It's a beautiful place. It's ran by some great people. Probably the best apples in Flint. You're just going to swing to the left here. Now you're on Decker Street. Leads right into my neighborhood. Al Shaddai Ministries come in on that corner church that you've seen. And stay to the left there. I'm going to shoot right straight across. Left.
Yeah, the left joint.
El Shaddai. Land Bank big time. They turned that into their church. It used to be Granson Hall. It was a business.
They're gonna left.
No, you're going to go right straight through there. Involved with the land bank.
How many churches are there here?
I'm telling you something right now. Like I said, there's more churches than there are clean bathrooms. The problem with me is I probably should have started a church.
You are a holy man.
Yeah. All right, you know where you're at now, right? Decker, Poplar.
Dramatically changed.
Look at that. Within a burp.
Left.
Oh, yep.
Look at that old 19. That's got to be 1955.
That's a good guy too. Now look at this is what I got to come home to every night when I come here. You know, I got to see this shit.
1957 Chevy Butler.
Thank you.
Shadows of the middle class.
They have nots.
But all of this was also man-made. This isn't. This didn't
No,
happen
this
by
is-
accident.
No, it was well designed. This is probably a 40-year plan that only took them 5 years to do, 10 years to do. I'm gonna make it right here. It's elimination of people. It's elimination of houses because they don't give a fuck about nothing. They want this property. Look where we just came from, how close we are to this nice park. And if this is all flat and green where they can come jog, ride their bikes, right. Welcome to Washington Avenue. Now look at this. This is Mr. Palladino's house that he redid. I'm losing this to a bank scam.
Which one is this?
This one.
Okay.
This one that me and Leah redid. I'm losing it to a land bank scam because I'm in I'm in bankruptcy. They won't let me know that my taxes are not being paid, but that's why I filed. Same as this one. Now I'm going to take all that stuff off there. But this was the house that was poisoned and destroyed from the city. Okay? Why do I got to live like that? I'm no different than this one that sat here for 12 years like this. Because you know why? Kildee and them worked out a deal where they get freaking government immunity. You know what government immunity is? They're not responsible for shit. Nothing. All right, I'm going to snag Leah up and then we'll go get something to eat. Or are you guys done?
No, we got to. All right. We'll be back soon from a trailer park for the continued fun in the destruction and bulldozing of the middle class. Thank you.